Good morning, everybody. How are you? It is Tuesday, November 29th. So, the big question is, why am I home from school? Well, um, our district extends Thanksgiving break. Monday we have off, uh, I guess, unofficially because it's the beginning of rifle deer season. And it's like, why fight it when a lot of kids and teachers may want to be off for hunting? And then today is our exchange day for conferences. So since we did our conferences in two after school chunks earlier in the month, we get today off. Yay! So the boys are out adventuring, and I decided, why not? If I have uninterrupted time, let's make a video because, it's the holiday season here in the States and things are blah, right? I don't know how you're doing. I made my contributions to the American retail market over the weekend. I hate to say it, but I do a lot of online shopping because I think what did it for me was a few years ago, my husband and I were out when the girls were little, and I saw a couple people get into a fight over a parking place, which I thought was ridiculous. And then I was looking at a sweater one time and I knew I was going to sneeze, so I laid it down, turned my head, sneezed, went to pick it back up, and a woman grabbed it, and I said, "Excuse me, I was looking at that." She said, "Well, you laid it down." And I said, "I'm sorry, but next time I'll sneeze on it for you." And I walked away, and I thought, that does it, if I can't do my Christmas shopping during the week or online now, I don't know what I'd do. So I did that. And then yesterday, Eddie and I went to Target to do all the, obligatory Tide soap junk shopping. And I was surprised how busy it was on a Monday. It was crazy. So he picked something out for Grandpa, and he picked something out for his mom, and he picked something out for his aunts. He learned a lesson on what gift cards cost, but I thought, what the heck, I don't care. So, yeah. All right. So, that's where we are. So I hope that you are able to get your holiday shopping done if that is something that you take care of this time of year. And so here's what I thought I would do today. There's always been a question that I have heard from people. Is a WIP something that's kitted or something that you've actually started? As a quilter, I say a WIP is something that you're working on, work in progress. So like right now I have one quilt that I have to bind. So to me, that's a WIP. I have, I don't know how many quilts cut up and ready to go. So to me, that's a WIP. One thing I decided to do, don't hold your breath, is that I decided to try and be a little more organized. So if this works, does that mean I have to change my name from Disorderly Stitcher? Anyway, to try to get myself a little more organized and write some things down. Starting with January 1. I'm making a resolution before I have to. We all know how that goes. But anyway, so I did have about half a dozen things written in this quilting journal that I got from Fat Quarter Shop. And I erased them all. I was like, okay, those are in the past. I sound like Rafiki from Lion King. Doesn't matter, it's in the past. So I looked to see what I have cut and ready to go, or kitted and ready to go. I guess a couple of these aren't really. Anyway, I've already screwed up. So in here I have my grandmother's flower garden. I have a Bonnie Hunter scrap quilt called Carolina Chain. I have my Prairie Meadow applique. I have my Sparkle Stars, my Sew by Row, blah, 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 blah. So I thought, okay, if I can give myself a list of 5 to 10 quilts and I work on them a little bit at a time, maybe I can feel accomplished. Because honestly, right now I'm feeling a little overwhelmed. And that happens every once in a while. So then I started thinking about my cross stitch, and it, like I said, is cross stitch WIPs kitted or ready to go, because I started writing down every single stitch that I had thread and I had fabric and I had everything for. And again, I'm really starting to feel a little overwhelmed. So I had taken this original book and I pitched it, and I'm like, well, that's kind of stupid, because as I started to go through my project bags, I realized I have no idea what these fabrics are. So I pulled it back out of the garbage can like a good person, and thought, okay, as I decide to work on these, I'll write them down. Now, the other thing that probably inspired me was WIPGO. And if you're not familiar with WIPGO, it's basically creating like a bingo board with a free space in the middle if you choose. And you have 24 blocks. And a gal named Jessie, who I will link below, calls 2 numbers every month. And you dedicate so much time or so many stitches, or it's a finish or whatever you want it to be, and you work on it. So I was seeing goals last year, like, work so many hours or get so many stitches or do this, do that. And again, it overwhelmed me. And I'm like, I can't do that. That's too much planning. And I would feel like a failure if I didn't do it. So then the more I thought about, and I was like, how do you count your stitches? I don't understand that. How do you do that? Do you sit there and you like, okay, I'm going to get this motif done, and you count the stitches and boom, that's how many you do? That's way, way too much for me. So as I thought about this, I could start out small, with my schedule. I could start out small and say, all right, I'm going to work 2 hours on this project, or I could work 5 days on this project. Now, in Jessie's video, the one thing she stresses, and which is great, because you know what, this is going to be my mantra: my board, my rules. And Jess is like, if I put 1 stitch in, to me, I worked on it. And I'm like, cool. I like this girl. Awesome sauce. So I figured, you know what? I can do this. I truly believe that I could do this. I could put in my WIPGO board, make a new project bag. And I have found that I can pretty much make a project bag in a day. And, or, if I don't have a whole day, then I can do it in a couple days. I can cut it out one day and quilt it, and then I can put it together another day. I don't know. I don't know. 2 days, if I have uninterrupted time, I could do this in 2 days. I could work, I could dedicate a certain day of the week or whatever to a certain stitch. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to work. So I think I'm going to give it a try. So if you've ever thought about jumping into the WIPGO pool, and you want to join me on this new adventure, that would be wonderful. I would appreciate it because I think there's a lot of us out there that are afraid to try. So I'm going to give it a go, people. We'll see. Because the other thing that motivated me was my basket of project bags. Yeah. Yes. Yes. So yeah, Nancy truly went down the rabbit hole with cross stitch last year. And she hasn't found her way out yet. By the way, this is one of my favorites, pumpkin spice. That's another rabbit hole I went down too. Rae Dunn mugs. Love them. Cute. My daughters are like, Mother, you had to get rid of all those mugs earlier and now you're buying more mugs. Well, get over it. They get to inherit them someday. So, with that being said, let's go back to the question of the video. Is kitted a WIP? Kitted versus work in progress, all right? So, I'm going to say these are works in progress because everything's put together in these bags. Doesn't mean I've taken a stitch or I've taken a stitch in quite a while, but I got them that far. Is that all of them? No. But there we go. So I thought I'd go through them with you. Maybe you can help me develop some kind of order. Maybe I can figure out how I'm going to put them on my WIPGO board. Because this basket needs to be whittled down into something more manageable. All right, so the first one is, what did Nancy decide to do with Christmas rules? So here's the pattern, upside down. Yes, Christmas rules. This is a stitch along being hosted by Cornhusker State Stitchers, and they divided it into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 parts. So you see those lines of stitching that divide each section. Those are the 8 parts. And not knowing what this was stitched on, originally I bought the bluer gray. Well, then I found out that what they stitched it on was more of a pewter gray, and as you know, I'm not happy with the way the white's showing up on this. And I've had gobs of suggestions, and I truly, truly appreciate them. And I came that close to pitching it because everyone else I've seen working on this, or almost everyone else, is doing it on a brown or a tan, and I love it. But there's that little voice inside of me that says, you can't throw this out. You bought all this stuff. You've worked on this for hours. You cannot just throw this out. And I'm not going to sit here and pick it out because, let's face it, that red thread isn't going to play nice when I pick it out. So, this is what I did. Besides get a green thread on the back of it. So when it came to the word stocking, which was the holdup, I decided to take the gray that shows up minimally. I used a Gray Weeks Dye Works. And I decided to do the stocking in gray. Now, the only time this gray shows up is in the gifts. The one under the tree and the one at the top. Okay? So that took care of that dilemma. Now, I'm still debating, do I take the gray and do I outline like the white around Santa's hat and the snowflakes? So there's a snowflake in the sea at the top. There's 3 snowflakes by the tree. And there's a snowflake by the snowman. I haven't decided on that yet. And I figured, you know what? I could do it. And then if I don't like it, I can always rip it out because it's only going to be one strand. or do I take the white and outline? I still haven't decided on that. But anyway, I'm liking it more than I did as I go on. I love the Gentle Arts Cranberry for the red and I'm doing one stitch at a time. So I'm not like doing the whole row and then going back because I want to see that variegation, and you can see it, especially in the stockings and in the heart. So, yeah. I'm liking it. So I keep it for now. I don't have a empty holiday bag that it will fit in. So it's in my new strawberry bag. And thank you. Somebody commented that, it's okay to pet your projects because you're proud of them. So anyway, so that's the game plan on that. So I will keep working on it. It might be stitched before Christmas, but it probably won't be finished into anything before Christmas. Sorry for the noise. So yeah. All right. Haven't put anything into my Ohio bag yet, but I bought Kentucky fabric off of Etsy because my family's from Kentucky, from Louisville. So, and being the history teacher, geography nerd that I am, if I could find all the states I've lived in, I'd probably make one for each one. So that would mean, let's see, I'd need Tennessee, New York, and Maryland yet. I think that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. Yes. All right. So let's do a WIP parade. This might be a little long. So the one thing that I started last year, and my original goal was to do a Santa a month, is Prairie Schooler Santas. Yeah, that didn't work. I got one done. I did get it done in January. But for me, that would mean being very monogamous. Single stitcher. Big word. So I did get this one done. This is on 18 count Davos, which is the called for, and I'm using the called for DMC, and it's 2 over 1, and I love the way it covers. So over at Happy Little Stitch Shop a couple weeks ago during Angela's Floss Tube, Lori Holt was there, and she was saying how that every fall she does a Prairie Schooler Santa. So then a couple people chimed in and say, hey, can we do this as a sew-along? So they're doing it. And again, I wasn't really happy with the way this cloth was turning out. But now that I have it back out, I'm really liking it. So I have to cut up my fabric. I bought this huge chunk of Davos at Stitches Unlimited over in Lancaster. So I need to cut it up and zigzag around it, and that means switching out my machines because my Juki doesn't have a zigzag, and I just got my Bernina back from the shop from a spot treatment. Turned out Bernie needed more than just a spot treatment. There was a nick in my bobbin case. I don't know about you, but when there's a nick in your bobbin case, things don't work well. So there's that. Now, I know some of these you've seen recently, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on them. I still have not started the Scarlet House, a sampler for all seasons. This was a exclusive. Can't remember through who. But, that text isn't going to take long. So I think this is going to go, I could put this on the WIPGO board as get the text done. So I have the fabric, which is a 36 count Steinbeck from Needle and Flax. I love Rachel's fabric. It's nice and soft. And of course, all of the classic color works. And they even gave you this little itty bitty bit of sugar plum because I guess there's not a whole lot of sugar plum in it. And I keep it in my Nantucket Summer project bag. Now, I'm not a blue person, as I've said before, but I love Nantucket Summer. And yeah, I bought quite a bit. So I don't know. Maybe I'll make some more of these bags. Who knows? I have not done any more work on my Statehood Splendor than I showed you the last time. It's still that one little line of the buggy in Pennsylvania. So I'm not even going to pull that out because I think I just showed it to you last week. So this is a Dot Dot Goose vinyl front bag. I love her work, and honestly, I'm a firm believer in paying someone for their work when they do an excellent job. And in fact, I have one of hers in my shopping cart at Etsy right now. I like to put things in shopping carts and then I think about it. But anyway, this is the Prairie line of fabric by Lori Holt. I fell in love with it. Again, it's all kitted. I have my Lori Holt cookbook fabric clutch from Starlight Stitching Co. I have all the threads ready to go, DMCs. This is the Heartstring Samplery Prairie Life Sampler. It's a sew along through Happy Little Stitch Shop. It's based on Little House on the Prairie, which was always one of my favorite books. My grandmother, who was a teacher and a principal, gave me a copy of Little House in the Big Woods when I was 8. And I read it, and I read it, and I read it over and over again. And I never knew, so that was about first or second grade. I never knew there was more books in the series till I was in like 5th grade. And I just devoured them. Unfortunately, my girls never got into them. So all of my books went to a donation, but you know, that's okay. Somebody else is enjoying them. But anyway, so you can see, I'm not going to make a lot of noise taking it out of the plastic, but like there's Pet and Pat the horses, and there's Jack the dog, and Pa and Ma. And at the time, it was just the 3 girls, Mary, Laura, and Carrie. So, yeah, I'm excited. I don't know if I would put the names of the animals on there. Just to make it a little more generic. But again, it's not started, but it's kitted. So, is it a WIP? Don't know. I don't know. I guess it's my board, my rules, right? Right. Okay, so in my Charlie Brown bag that I made, this is my first attempt at a vinyl front bag. It didn't turn out too bad. Lessons learned with it. But it is my Autumn Rules by Plum Street Sampler. I love the colors. Sorry about that. I don't know if I have it written in here to tell me what kind of fabric this is. Dooby doop doop dooby doo, dooby doop doop dooby doo. Nope, we are out of luck. So, anyway, it's on this brown stuff. Like that. It's a even weave. So, yeah, it's pretty. It's big. I got plenty. I'd rather have too much than not enough, because the cool thing is if I have enough, I can use these for ornaments or something. But anyway, again, it's all kitted up with all of the called for DMC. I even made myself a little thread keep, because let's face it, you cannot have too much Charlie Brown. And I have, Q snaps here and there. My stepmother decided not to keep her cross stitch, and she sent me a bunch of stuff. So, yeah. So I have Autumn Rules in there. Kitted, not started. But again, I think that one would go quickly because of the text, and it's similar to the Christmas Rules. So that's on the list. Showed you this one a couple months ago. I think this was a bag I made. I think this was the first one I made over the Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch tutorial. I love it. I'll link it below. And I'll also link below the pattern I used for the vinyl front in case you're interested. But anyway, this was a Henry Glass jelly roll, and I thought, what am I going to do with it? So I cut it up, made some squares. I even made a thread keep. Not the best, but it works. This is his eyes on the sparrow. Now this is going to be huge, huge, huge. And this is on 36 count doubloon by Picture This Plus. Again, it's sort of a modelly golden brown. It's hard to see, but it's gorgeous. And I have the threads, Gentle Arts, Weeks. Yes, gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Yeah. So that could be, a work, 4 hours on or something. I don't know. That's one of those. That's one of those that's staring me in the face, going, "Really? Yes, really, really." The one thing about projects bags, it's got me over my fear of doing zippers. Yes. Okay, this is another one I made, vinyl front. Didn't turn out too bad. This is Ann Kirby, 1845. Nice and simple. I love that house. I love the variegation in the house. The house is done with, what is the house done with? Okay. The house is done with Classic Colorworks Old Oak Tree. But anyway, and again, it's like a goldeny brown linen. I don't have a clue. The called for was hog bristles, so maybe that's what that is. But yeah, so I have all the threads. See, and I keep them so neat. Some of you are probably going, ah! But you know what? They're contained in a project bag, so I know where they are. Yes. This is another one I made. I fell in love with this fabric when I saw it. So this one, again, here goes back to my, I'm not a blue person. But this one I fell in love with when I saw it, and I bought it. This is a Tisket a Tasket by Rosewood Manor. Why have I not started this? So it calls for, what does it call for? It calls for fabric. It calls for vellum linen. Well, with the, what's that thing called? Supply chain issues. Finding vellum was ridiculous. So I got a 32 count piece of 32 count Mayflower by Fox and Rabbit. I'm pretty sure that's Fox and Rabbit. Sort of a creamy color. And again, all the threads are here. I just love the combination of blues and grays and the white. So the nice thing about this one is it's divided into sections. So maybe that could be on my WIPGO board, get, one section of a Tisket a Tasket done. Yes. Here's my Hungry Caterpillar bag. Maybe this was the first one I did. I think it was because I didn't quilt it. This is one when I started to wander down the rabbit hole last fall, a year ago actually. And my husband and I were in Virginia, and we stopped at the Cross Stitch Station, I think it's called, in Waynesboro. I saw this on the wall, and I was like, I got to do this. This is beautiful. And so it's the Elizabeth Hancock sampler by Little House Needleworks. It was huge. Huge. It's 271 by 237. I don't know what she stitched it on, but it was huge. So it's straw by Weeks Dye Works, a very, very golden brown. And again, haven't touched it, but they're all here. I sound like the little girl in Poltergeist. They're here. Yes. Anybody see that movie? I'm not a horror movie person. Don't like horror movies. All right. So this is another one I did. This has to be one of the earliest ones too. This is my Muppet bag. I love the Muppets. Yes, my daughter, one of my twins, who has always been a Muppet Sesame Street like fangirl. She went to Drexel. She was a film video major. She got to meet Carol Spinney, who was inside Big Bird and also did Oscar. And he had Oscar with him. So there, I have a picture of her standing there with Carol Spinney and Oscar. And it's like, she's fangirling. But anyway, yes. I always thought she'd be wonderful working with the Muppet people. So this one holds my barn owl. This is the only one out of this series that I bought. It's the A Year in the Woods, the barn owl. Cottage garden samplings. This is the only one I bought. Because Abby loves owls. And so the call for is 40 count Valor. And again, so I bought it, sort of a greenish gray. And there we go. Now, I bought these from Vistaprint because a lot of people put threads on cards or thread drops, whatever you want to call them. And I thought, well, I can do that with my DMC. And I got them printed with my disorderly stitcher thing. Because my original thought was I could, sort of do a floss drop exchange. But anyway, so that's another thing on my list to do is to put threads on my thread drops in my spare time between 2 and 4 in the morning. Again, not started. Kidded. Here's another one I did that I did not quilt. This was part of a bag kit that I never made the bag for, but I love Grandmother's Flower Garden. In fact, I have one in process that I've had in process for God knows how long. But again, we have the threads, Budamus threads, Budamus. Combination of Weeks, Classic Colorworks, and DMC. Oh, look, there's a pair of scissors. And I'd have to look it up, but it's a beautiful brown mottled. Don't know what count. But this is the Plum Street sampler Live on Little that I fell in love with. It's hard to see. But yeah, I just love it. Believe it or not, I am not a seashore, go swim in the ocean, vacation at Ocean City person. I'm not. I don't like the feeling of sand on my feet. I don't like, I like walking along the beach. I do, but I don't like sand on my feet. I like looking for seashells. I would love to just sit out on a porch or whatever you call it and watch the waves go in and out. But I'm not a go to Ocean City and walk up and down the boardwalk and yeah, that doesn't turn me on. So I've been to the beach twice in my life. Once when I was about 3, we went to Nag's Head when we lived in Louisville. The crazy part of that vacation that I really remember, 2 things. Number 1 was going over the mountains. And it felt like those windy mountain roads were never going to stop. So, of course, we had to go over the mountains, going to the beach and coming back. The second thing Three things. Sorry. The second thing I remember was that being 3 years old and there was only a shower in this place that we stayed in, I had to take a bath in the sink. Why do I remember that? I'm 60 years old. And the third thing I remember is that my brother, who was 5 years older than me, was messing around and a crab bit him in the heel, on the back of his heel. And that freaked me out to the point where I would not go back in the water. And I have not been back. I mean, I have been like 2 or 3 feet in, but yeah, yeah. Needless to say, Jaws sealed the deal. You know what I mean? Not going to happen. But anyway, I love Nantucket summer. I love the idea of, the white beadboard on, like from the middle of the wall down and the white. Yeah, I love it. But go figure. No idea. All right. Next one was an exclusive. It was a limited edition. Twin Peak Primitives. And I bought it, and you get the bag, and you get all the goodies with it. And this one was America, so I'm geeking out. So I got this for 3 reasons. Number 1, it's cross stitch. Number 2, it's historically oriented. And 3, it's got quilts on it. So you buy it, you get the pattern, and I don't know what that was, and a needle minder, which I thought was cool, and the fabric already serged. This is dirty brown, 32 count by XJU. Yes. And this cool little puzzle thing that you can put together and I guess glue down, and that's to hold your threads. And all the DMC. Again, not started. And they kitted it up for me in this beautiful canvas bag. Why not? Running out of room here, people. Okay, so this is another Dot Dot Goose. Sunflowers. I've decided that sunflowers are like one of my favorites. This is the August chart. I gotta close it so you don't see it. This is the August chart for month to month by Chelsea and Priscilla, Stitching with the Housewives. Now, I started this one. It's all kitted up, has all the threads, and this is done on Monaco. And Monaco is very stiff. I haven't decided, but I'm not going to give it up, but I haven't decided. But now that I've dedicated this one to Monaco, I feel like I have to do the rest of them on Monaco. But anyway, that's how far I am. So I have the curl for the A and the B and the sunflower. I don't even have the sunflower done because I don't have the little white dotty doos done. But anyway, needless to say, I'm about 5 months behind on that one. And, this is so stiff that you can't... Whatever. But, and I'd already had this project bag. So I just stuck them in there, and they're not even on a ring. But it's, yeah. I know that Laura Duet can appreciate the thread organization or lack thereof. I'm sure Brenda is probably cringing. I love you, girls. All right, this is another wonderful Dot Dot Goose bag. Oh, I did kit them up. I gotta move this. All right, so here we go. Snowmen. And it's contained in it is a Prairie Schooler. 2011. Don't ask me why I started that one. I bought the thread keep. I already have the fabric cut and zigzagged around. And I have the threads. Ta-da! Yes. Yes. Surprise! So we're going to keep that one out so I can reorganize. See, I've got so many things I don't even know what I have. This is another Dot Dot Goose. It is a Lori Holt. It's one of the first ones I bought from Denise. Like I said, someone does great work. Yes. This is the Gather In. This is another one of the first ones I purchased last fall. I got it in Waynesboro, Virginia at the Cross Stitch Station. It is Plum Street. I love the barn. Has the big quilt star on it. Again, I have the fabric. No idea what it is. Let me see if I can find it. The Gather In, number 11. This is why I dug this back out of the trash. 36 count graham cracker. No idea who made it. But anyway, again, I have all the threads. DMC, weeks. Yes. One of these days. One of these days. Yes. And another beautiful Dot Dot Goose bag. And I purchased the thread keep because, you know, you got to be all matchy-matchy and cute. And the fabric, again, I'd have to look that one up. And this is one I found online on Etsy, and it's from Willow Hill Samplings. And it turns out that this company is just down the road from me in Greencastle, Pennsylvania. But I love it. So it's Quaker Bluebird Sampler. And it calls for, what does it call for? It calls for fingers that can actually separate pages. Yes. Calls for Gentle Arts Blackboard, which is what I believe, yes, I did, because it has this nice blue hue to it. So, yes. Again, you know, I could divide it up and say, okay, I'm going to get one motif and however many letters done in the alphabet. So that came as a PDF, so I printed it. Yes. So that's on my list of things to do. I have a huge list, people. This retirement thing better happen and happen fast. All right. This, I have no idea. Oh, this is my little goodie bag of tools, so that doesn't matter. This is another Dot Dot Goose bag because I just loved the mailboxes, letters for Santa, and the little red trucks. And she put that cute little snap with the tree on it. I love it, love it, love it. This is all Classic Colorworks, apparently. Budamus, Budamus, Budamus. Oh, this is my Fall on the Farm, which hasn't happened yet. I got to find all the charts and stick them in here. Yes. So that's on my list of things to do. Don't judge me, people. No judgment. Hey, I'm going to blame my husband. He said, buy what you want now because you're working, and when you retire, you'll have all this stuff. All right, so here's another one I made, vinyl front. Love it, love it, love it. I don't knit and I don't crochet. I call it crocheting. But anyway, I don't knit. I tried knitting. I dove deep and tried to knit socks. Yeah, that did not happen. Too stressful. So this is a Lori Holt. You are the boss of your own quilt. Why not? So It's on her 25 count even weave cloud. And I just bought the thread pack from Fat Quarter Shop. So I probably have multiple skeins of each of those colors because Lori loves to use those colors, especially 347. All right. Here's another exclusive. Again, the history nerd came out in me by Twin Peak Primitives. Got the bag. The threads are not, yeah, they're, I'm guessing it's XJU. I don't know. But anyway, they're Budamus. Came with this cute little bag. Yes, cute little bag. And it helps if we keep the country right side up, doesn't it? And this is 32 count summer khaki, sort of a grayish green. And it came with the, oh look, it came with thread drops. How exciting. That means I need to put them over there. And the ring. And a presidential seal needle minder, which is cool. And even a library card, which I guess you're supposed to stick on the back of your framed project. So there we go. I told you there was a lot. All right, in my Pennsylvania bag that I made. This was an exclusive primitive hair. And I know some people didn't like it, but I do. It sort of combines everything I do. So it's the house with the scissors. And it says, home is where my stitching is. Which is true. And I made the cute little thread keep. And it uses gunmetal gray, Weeks, Dye Works, and some grays and whites, and this sort of taupey color. I guess that's taupey color. That's 3033. And this gray. Again, did I write it down? Heck no. Fairy Gray Linen by Primitive Hair. So I'm guessing that's hers. Yes. One of these days, people. One of these days. Running out of room. All right, this is one of the first ones I really dove deep into. This is One Nation. Again, the history nerd. I love it. And it only uses the 3 colors. But it's like a huge amount of them. So it's antique lace, Cupid, and blacksmith blue. But I love it. And I did start it. So this is a, for those of us that are like WIPs or what you're working on, this is a bona fide WIP. So that's how far I got on that. Working on the stars. It's a huge piece of fabric. Probably a half yard. So, yes. Any of you do that one? I've seen it done a couple times. But it's One Nation by Bygone Stitches. So, yes. Yes. So I don't know where that one will hang. That one might hang over the fireplace. I think my kids might appreciate that if I take the picture down that, when they were little. All right, another dot dot goose. Just because. So this is another one that I worked heavy duty on. This is, and I have to fix it because I don't have, one thing about vinyl bags I've heard is that the image will ghost onto the vinyl. This is 36 count ale, but so I have all these beautiful threads, probably DMC since I put them on those drops. I don't want to lose my spot. So here we go. It's Scarlet House. Yes, I'm using the DMC. At least I think I started this. Did I start this? I must have because I have it. Yes. So I do some and then I put, I move across and then I move down. So I haven't touched this one in quite a while. So that's on the list of things to do. And that's another one of those I double bought. So I have another copy. Right there. And this is another one I made. I just love cows. I love cows. Cows. We play a cow game when we go out in the car. That you count the cows on your side of the street. And then when you get where you're going, the game is over and you figure out who won. Now, if you pass a cemetery on your side of the street, you lose your cows. Now, my grandson, who hates to lose, decided to add the caveat that if there's a tractor on your side of the street, then you collect your tractors and that your tractors will save you from the cemetery. Whatever. So, this is Harriet Charlesworth, 1822. And this one I got, I believe, on Etsy. I'm not sure. Etsy or 1884 Stitchery. But again, this one's broken down into pieces. I love it. It calls for a 32 count linen light sand. I don't know if that's what I bought. It has the DMCs. I may have. And they're all tucked in here. Obviously, I haven't started it yet. But they're all... That's where they are. Yes. That's another thing I want to do is go through my projects. I have a spreadsheet for all my threads. I have a thread spreadsheet that has like 4 pages in it because I have, well, maybe 5. Because I have a page for DMC and a page for Weeks and a page for Classic Colorworks and a page for Gentle Arts and probably a page for XJU since I have that one project. And it's a Google sheet, which is cool because if I'm out somewhere and I'm like, oh, they have a thread sale, so then I can pull it up on my phone and see what I don't have. But anyway, I need to go through my projects and see what I have on bobbins. And hopefully I don't buy more than I need. All right. And then the last one, this is the very, very first vinyl front bag I ever made. I used a vinyl, the gauge of the vinyl was way too thin, which is why it crinkles so much. But hey, live and learn, right? Live and learn. So this is the Lori Holt barn. And I have not touched this in ages. In fact, I have the thread keep from the other bag in here. And, but this is all DMC. And I have a pumpkin needle minder. But this is all DMC. Lori's favorite colors. Throw that back in there. Throw that back in there. I haven't dug that one out in a while. Like I said, I haven't done squat on this since I showed it to you months ago. But again, it's another pretty big piece. You know, I mean, once you're dedicated to working on the barn, you're dedicated to working on that barn. The nice thing about DMC is that you don't have to worry about the variegation, so you can do it all across the row and then come back. And that's what I did. So, you know, that could be another thing on my WIPGO is to work on a barn for 10 days or something like that. I'm coming up with all these ideas. You guys are such an inspiration. So those are all the ones that I have in bags. Now, like I said, I have more in a drawer behind me. I have gobs and gobs and gobs of kits. Like I have the Quaker Halloween. There's the fabric and the threads. And I have Playing with Jacks. I love that. I love Cricut. But again, I don't have the threads pulled, but I have the fabric. And I have Hannah's Brownstone by Scarlet House and Lydia K. Cohagen, which this was a Threads of History Club from Country Sampler. And I have Dear Daughter. Oops, let's zip that one up. By Blackbird Design. You know, I'm not going to pull all these out, but I have gobs and gobs and gobs of them to work on. And maybe I need a purchasing intervention. Do you know what I mean? That's probably what I need. Because, you know, on top of that, I have all my quilts. Yeah. I'm almost to the point where I'm ashamed that I have all this stuff. So, you know, as far as accomplishments, the only thing that I really accomplished was I made some more of these. I know I showed you these. I have 2 of this fabric, and then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of this fabric line, and I have 1 more to make. So, because why do I have 1 more to make? Because it's cut out, and I have a piece of the backing fabric, and I have my last circle, and that sucker is going to get made. Don't know who's going to get it, but it's made. So, yes. All right, so we had a giveaway last time. And the one was, where did I lay them? Here they are. The one was if you celebrated Christmas, you were to use Christmas in your comment. So that one was for the hands-on design, Partridge and Doves. All right. And the winner for that one is, and I'm going to go get it because like an idiot, I didn't look. So hang on. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. So the winner for this one was Synovia Bain. Thank you, Synovia. Please do me a favor and email me your address. Remember, you have to be over 18. All right. So thank you so much, Synovia. And this one, Winter Rose Manor, was for the word holiday or decorate, I think. Anyway, so Winter Rose Manor, this one goes to Rachel Dines. So Rachel, thank you so much. Please do me a favor and email me your address information, and I will get these out to you ASAP. So yes, So this is like my longest video. It's almost there it goes. It's an hour. So I hope that you all have a wonderful holiday season. I'm going to, I'm waiting for snow. Don't ask me why. I'm waiting for snow. I hate snow days because we have to make them up. Um, if we lose a day between now and the Christmas break, then our first makeup day is January 2nd, which is no big deal. It's a Monday. So yeah, but I just want a day where we can just hunker down. I can stick a cranberry pork roast in the crock pot and just relax. You know what I mean? But anyway, with that in mind, I hope everybody has a wonderful December. My twins turn 29 tomorrow. Oh my God. And yeah, I will probably not do another video until the holiday break between Christmas and New Year's. So, unless for some reason I get a lot done and the mood strikes, but I highly doubt it. So, if I don't see you and you celebrate Christmas, have a incredible Christmas holiday. If you celebrate Hanukkah, I hope that celebration is wonderful as well. If you celebrate Kwanzaa, have an incredible time with your family in your celebration. And those of you who observe Ramadan, blessings. All right. So take care of yourselves. Enjoy whatever you're working on. Think about WIPGO. I will put the link to Jesse's video down below. I will put links to Goose and Fat Quarter Shop and Happy Little Stitch Shop down below. And yeah, so we will see you later. Take care. Bye bye.